After the breakup, I still carried a silly habit, peeling shrimp shells as if she was still beside me. And before I knew it, crawfish season had returned. That night, half out of impulse, half out of longing, I reopened my ex-wife Willow's account and typed, "How about getting back together?" Her reply cut sharp. "No, I have a new boyfriend now. Stop trying to win me back with these childish tricks. It's stupid." But I didn't get angry. Instead, I lowered my voice and asked, "So, do you and your boyfriend eat crawfish?" Silence. Then the sound of her breathing, quick, startled, almost disbelieving. She snapped back, "Repeat what you just said." I sighed. Maybe she was losing her hearing too young. So I repeated softly, "The place we used to go is running promotion. Buy 5 pounds, get 2 free." Her voice cracked sharp. "So you bought 10 pounds. I held the phone away as she exploded. "George, have you lost your mind?" And yet, when the storm in her voice finally calmed, I whispered again, "So, do you and your boyfriend eat crawfish?" Her answer was a knife. "Go away." Then the call dropped. I stood outside her building, 14 pounds of steaming crawfish in hand, staring up at her apartment windows. All my careful calculations, every hopeful move, none of it accounted for the truth, that Willow had someone else now. I sank onto the cold stone flower bed, lost, staring at the ridiculous bags of crawfish at my feet. Who was going to eat all this with me? Certainly not her. Certainly not anymore. But fate had its own script. Not long after, she appeared downstairs. Her face was unreadable, her eyes cold. She just stood there, watching me. I lifted the bags with a broken smile. "Freshly cooked. Don't you want some?" Without a word, Willow grabbed 2 bags, turned, and walked off. "Wait," I called after her. She froze, raising her brow, the same tiny gesture I had memorized during 4 years together. It meant get to the point. She didn't need to speak. I understood. I hesitated, then muttered, 5 pounds to 40. Her eyes widened. Then she sneered. "Fine. You've really learned something. George, if I ever talk to you again, I'll be a dog." She transferred the money, turned, and left, on her way. She kicked a raised brick, hard enough to hurt herself, though she tried to hide it, limping as she disappeared into the night. Later, she posted a video, another man peeling a whole bowl of crawfish for her, feeding her piece by piece. She smiled in that video, the same smile I once thought belonged only to me. I had expected her to move on. I just didn't expect it so soon. 6 months ago, she swore with tears in her eyes, "George, if you ever find another woman, I'll haunt you as a ghost. I'll wait for you forever." But forever, it seems, only lasted half a year. I stared at her message. "Let's delete each other. I don't want my boyfriend to misunderstand." My fingers hovered. I wanted to type, "Okay." I wanted to end it clean. But I couldn't. I couldn't send it, couldn't let go. And when her name finally disappeared from my contacts, it felt like a door slamming shut. A life ending. I sat there with crawfish growing cold in my hands, realizing the taste had changed. Maybe it wasn't the crawfish. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was a way love, once sweet, had turned unbearably sour. Hadn't deleted me after all. She'd only blacklisted me, and now she'd quietly removed me from it. On her end, I could see the little words, typing. They lingered for a long time, like she was wrestling with herself. And then, finally, her reply appeared. Whatever you want." I stared at the screen, my chest tightening. A frown tugged at my lips as I clicked into her profile, just staring at her photo for a long while. Then, with a deep breath, I pressed delete. She was gone, just like how eating too much crawfish ruins the taste. Too much of her was ruining me. Willow had a boyfriend now. It was time for me to move on. I told myself I had come to terms with it. So when Shu, my manager, brought up his sister again, I didn't laugh it off like before. Instead, I gave him a small smile and said, "Sure, bro, add me through a friend request. We'll start there." That day, I added her, Anna. Our first few words were stiff, almost mechanical. She didn't seem eager to chat, and I wasn't the type to force it. So the conversation fizzled out, and I assumed that was that. But Shu had other plans. That very evening, he invited both of us to dinner, then conveniently excused himself, leaving me and Anna facing each other across the table. It was awkward at first. She smiled politely. I scratched my head and muttered, "Actually, I'm not even that hungry. Maybe we should just leave." Anna nodded, relieved. But before we could stand, the waiter arrived with steaming plates. She had already ordered everything and paid the bill. We had no choice but to sit back down. Anna sighed softly, a little smile tugging at her lips. My brother's like that. Always so difficult. I shook my head quickly. No. Honestly, he's been nothing but supportive of me. She gave me a look then, half disbelieving, half curious. After a pause, she said quietly, "Now I get why my brother speaks so highly of you. He never shuts up about it." I raised an eyebrow, suddenly intrigued. She leaned forward, eyes sparkling with mischief, and began listing all the things she hated about Shu. For the first time that night, we both laughed. The ice was breaking. And then, like a storm cloud over sunlight, came a cold, sharp laugh behind us. "Eh!" I turned, and there she was. Willow, arms folded, disdain written across her face. "Well, what a coincidence," she sneered, her eye flicking to Anna. "Your new girlfriend." I froze, searching for words. But Willow didn't wait for an answer. She bit her lip, holding my gaze like she wanted to burn through me. Then, with deliberate calm, she said, "There's no space left in this restaurant. Would you mind if my boyfriend and I join you?" Before Anna or I could refuse, they sat down. Willow leaned close to her boyfriend, whispering, giggling, even punching his arm playfully, like the two of them were the perfect picture of intimacy. But every so often, her eyes flicked to Anna, and each glance was sharper than the last. Anna shifted uncomfortably beside me. She even texted under the table, "Are they your friends?" I typed back simply, "That girl is my ex. The guy's probably her current boyfriend." Anna read it, choked on her drink, and almost spat it out. Willow leaned even closer into her boyfriend's arms, as a proving point. I rushed to hand Anna a napkin, flustered, but in the shuffle, I accidentally brushed her hand. She yanked back like my touch burned her, her cheeks turning scarlet. I wanted to apologize, but instead, the words slipped out with a teasing smile. "Didn't know you were this shy. Haven't been in a relationship before." Anna coughed harder, her face a deeper shade of red. I hurried to pour her water, patting her back as she shot me a reproachful look. And in that exact moment, crash! A glass shattered beside us. Startled, I turned to see shards scattered on the floor. Willow's face was pale, her expression unreadable. She lowered her gaze and muttered softly, "Sorry, my hand slipped." But the look she threw Anna was anything but an accident. Willow didn't care that we were already full. She waved over the waiter with a snap of arrogance, ordering a salad and 4 desserts for her boyfriend. Anna's lips curled faintly, her head tilting as if she was about to whisper something to me. But Willow cut in before she could. Her voice was sharp, laced with venom. "You two don't seem very well matched," she sneered, eyes narrowing at Anna. "Tell me, how did you even end up together?" Every word fell like poison, her tone carrying the smug edge of a wife confronting a mistress. The air around the table grew heavy, uncomfortable. Even Anna, usually calm and composed, frowned. I exhaled quietly, resting a hand on Anna's shoulder to keep her steady. "Our business has nothing to do with you, does it?" I said evenly, "Cancel the desserts. We're full. We'll be leaving now." I rose to my feet, helping Anna up with me. I even managed a polite smile at Willow's boyfriend. "Enjoy your meal." But Willow's face darkened, her voice cold as ice. "Did I say you could leave?" I ignored her, guiding Anna toward the door. But halfway there, Willow's hand shot out, clutching Anna's arm, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Wang, you always run away when something happens. Are you even a man?" Anna flinched, irritation flashing across her face. I didn't hesitate. I pried Willow's hand away, firm and final, and pulled Anna with me. We walked on, leaving Willow seating behind us. Her fury filled the restaurant, darkening the air like storm clouds. And then, crash. The sharp shatter of glass on the floor made everyone turn. Willow's voice rang out, playful yet venomous. "You're with George, huh? Did he ever tell you his mom was a prostitute? That is a bastard." Anna froze. My steps faltered. The restaurant went silent, and suddenly every eye was on me. My chest tightened as whispers rippled through the crowd. My fists clenched, trembling, but I forced my face to stay calm. Willow smirked, pushing further. "He didn't tell you, did he? George, look at you, hiding the truth from this girl." She tucked her hair behind her ear, stepping closer to Anna, her eyes sliding to me with cool satisfaction. "Should I tell her everything? Will she still love you after she knows?" Anna's voice broke through, trembling with fury. "Shut your filthy mouth." But Willow only smiled, sweet and poisonous. "Don't act like that. I'm just looking out for you, woman to woman. You deserve to know who you're really with." And then, without warning, my voice cut through the tension. "Fine. Then say it. Tell me." The words silenced her. For a moment, Willow's mask cracked. She froze, panic flickering in her eyes. "What did you just say?" I shrugged lightly, my tone calm, almost bored. "I almost forgot. Since you remember so well, why don't you say it? Let me hear it too." Her smirk vanished. For the first time, she looked unsettled. My name slipped from her lips in a broken whisper. "George." She reached for me, desperate now. Her eyes were red, her voice trembling. "No, that's not what I meant. You know me. I'd never say something like that. I didn't mean it. I really didn't." She stumbled over her words, frantic, her foot stomping in helpless anger, as though she was about to burst into tears. I just stared at her unraveling, my silence louder than anything. And finally, I left her with one cold sentence. "You're disgusting. Acting like you forgot, pretending innocence right after spewing filth. If that's not being a whore, then what is?" Her face shattered. Behind me, as Anna and I stepped out into the drizzle, I heard another crash echo inside the restaurant. Outside, the rain was light, soft, almost cleansing. I hadn't even noticed when it had begun. No umbrella, no shelter, just a cool touch of water on my face. Anna's car pulled up. I started to leave, but before I could, a gentle tug held me back. I turned. Anna stood there, rain brushing her lashes, a hand clutching my sleeve with quiet strength. Her voice was calm, but her eyes betrayed her worry. "Where are you going? Why aren't you getting in? You don't even have an umbrella. Where do you think you're going?" I looked at her, silent for a moment. Then I sighed. In weather like this, it doesn't matter. It was just drizzle, harmless. But Anna didn't let go. Her hand stayed there, holding me in the rain, refusing to release me into the storm alone. Anna's fingers trembled as she clutched my arm, and for a second, I froze. She wasn't scared of herself being exposed. She was scared for me. That realization hit me harder than anything Willow had said. My chest tightened with a mix of warmth and bitterness. "I'm fine." I forced a smile, my voice softer than I meant. "Really? I just want to take the subway home." But Anna didn't buy it. Her eyes studied me, searching, suspicious. So I shrugged, pretending calm. What Willow said is true. I can't change who my mother was. I don't even know who my father is. I'm a bastard, sure, but that's just the truth. And yes, Willow and I, once upon a time, we had something. But that's long gone, shattered into pieces. I tried to make light of it. Look, at least I don't have to worry about taking care of a dad who doesn't exist. I let out a laugh, but it was hollow. Anna just stayed, stunned that I could joke about scars that deep. When I was 18, I admitted I would have been crushed if someone humiliated me like that. But now, I'm almost 30. Why should I feel ashamed of something I never chose? Birth isn't something to feel guilty for. We only answer for our actions, not for the circumstances we're born into. Still, my words didn't ease the storm inside. Because when I closed my eyes, I saw Willow, the old Willow, the one who used to hold me after nightmares, whispering, "It's not your fault. It's over now. They were cruel, not you. And yet, that same girl had just stood in front of everyone and screamed. Here's a bastard. His mother was a hoe. My fists clenched. My chest boned. I pinched the space between my eyes, trying to steady myself. Anna's gaze softened, her voice breaking as she whispered, You're right. People can't control their birth. It's not your fault. Then she smiled faintly, though her eyes glistened. Wait for me here. I left something inside. Before I could answer, she ran back toward the restaurant. Moments later, she returned, breathless, holding a familiar umbrella, and with a grin that somehow lit up her whole face, she said, No time to explain. Get in the car. I gave in, letting her drive me home. Out of politeness, I invited her in for tea. The second the words left my mouth, her cheeks turned crimson. I didn't realize what she was thinking until it was too late. I fumbled, awkwardly clarifying, It's just me inside, no one else. But my attempt only deepened her blush. So I kept it simple, made her tea, sat with her a while, then walked her out. After closing the door behind her, I finally let my shoulders sag. I was ready for silence. But then, another knock. I frowned, half smiling. Forget something? I asked as I opened the door. And that's when the storm walked back into my life. Willow. Her cheek was bruised, her hair tangled, her eyes wild. Who forgot something? She spat. Your new girlfriend? Already bringing her home? Wow, George. Didn't take you long, did it? What's next? You found someone just like your mom. A whore for a whore, perfect match. Her voice cracked with rage, her face twisted. You're disgusting, both of you. I snapped. My hand rose before I could stop it. The slap echoed in the doorway, sharp and merciless. Willow's head whipped sideways. She staggered, covered her face, and tears spilled freely. I didn't say a word. Didn't need to. I just pushed the door to shut her out. But then, just as the latch caught, her scream tore through the night. A sound so sharp it froze me in place. The door slammed, and for a second I thought she'd give up. But Willow's hand slipped through the gap, caught hard against the frame. Her face twisted in pain, turning pale as she gasped. Before I could pull the door back, she lunged at me, wild, desperate, her arms locked around my neck. Her body pressed against mine, clinging like someone who had already lost everything. I tried to push her off. My hand shot to her hair, but she didn't even flinch. She held on tighter, trembling, refusing to let go. Willow, are you crazy? I shouted. Yes, she screamed back, her voice ragged, breaking. Crazy because of you. Then she bit down on my lip like a siren gone mad. Blood filled my mouth, metallic and sharp, and rage burned through me. I shoved her chest, hard, kicking her away. She hit the floor, but I wasn't done. My hand fisted in her hair, and in one breathless moment, I slapped her, once, then again. The crack of it echoed. She froze, sitting there limply on the floor, her hair tangled, her eyes swimming with tears. Blood streaked the corner of her mouth. You actually dared to hit me, she whispered, her voice trembling. I didn't answer with words, only with the weight of my clenched jaw. And yet she stared back at me, bruised and broken, and in that shaky, broken voice she said, George, you've always been like this. Cold, indifferent. No matter how much I scream, no matter how much I cry, you never care. Her voice cracked. Sometimes I wonder, did you ever love me? I met her eyes, and the sneer came before I could stop it. Love you? Is that what you call love? Dragging my deepest scars into the light, mocking my pain as if it's nothing, making me relive what nearly destroyed me. If that's your love, Willow, I don't want it. Her face went white. She shook her head violently, scrambling for words. No, that's not it. I was jealous. George, I saw you with her and it tore me apart. I said things I didn't mean. I just wanted you to look at me, to care. Her hands trembled as she tried to reach me. I just wanted you. But her voice couldn't touch me anymore. I stood there, cold, untouched, while she broke apart in front of me. She stumbled closer, her tears falling, her hand shaking as she tried to cling to my leg. Please, she begged. Even if you curse me, even if you hit me, just don't treat me like I don't exist. But I shoved her back without hesitation. My patience had snapped. Pinching the bridge of my nose, I forced myself to meet her eyes one last time. What's done is done. Willow, right is right. Wrong is wrong. And I'm done with this. If she'd truly been sorry, maybe there would have been room for words. But she wasn't. She only twisted things, trying to protect herself, never once seeing the wreckage she left behind. To me, she was nothing but a storm I couldn't live in anymore. Leave, I said, my voice raw but final. I don't ever want to see you again. But Willow only gripped her fist tighter, her voice trembling with obsession. I won't. You don't mean it. We've known each other for 20 years. George, you chased me for so long. You've always loved me. You can't just end it now. I ground my teeth, gripping the frame, and roared the word again. Leave. And finally, when she looked into my eyes and saw nothing but disgust, her breath faltered. Fine, she whispered. But even then, she couldn't let go. I'll leave today, but I'll come back tomorrow. I couldn't hold it in anymore. My hand reached for the couple's mug, the little pink-orange cat mug we once shared, and I smashed it to the floor. Shards scattered across the tiles, the sound cutting through the air like a blade. Don't ever come back, Willow. I spat, every word burning. Get as far away from me as you can. What you said today, it's no different from the cruelty of the people who once destroyed me, and I won't let you do it again. Willow froze in her tracks. She didn't move, not even a step, as if time itself had stopped around her. I slammed the door shut and slid down against it, my body heavy, my mind blank, sitting there in silence for what felt like forever. That night, she found me again, but only in a dream. She was 12, a light blue dress, her hair tied in a simple ponytail, her eyes bright like starlight. She looked at me, voice steady, not like a child's at all, and said, Come with me. Don't listen to those kids. None of this is your fault. And then, suddenly, she was 18. Her hands trembled as she took the love letter I gave her, eyes red, on the edge of tears. She looked up, her voice soft, almost breaking. George, I thought you'd never say it. She smiled through the tears. Promise me we'll always be together, okay? And I had answered her back then, serious, certain, okay. But the memory shattered, piece by piece, until nothing was left. I thought cutting Willow out of my life would leave me in pain for a long time. But the truth? By the very next morning, buried in work at the company, I almost forgot her. There was no time for heartbreak when the office buzzed with year-end contracts and the chase for bonuses. And maybe Willow finally gave up too. She stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped holding on. The only messages that lit up my phone were Anna's, quiet little snapshots of her world, a cat stretching in the sunlight, a sky painted pink at dusk. Anna was different, thoughtful. She never clung, never demanded. She knew I was busy, so she let our conversations come and go like passing breezes. Not too close, not too far. And honestly, I liked it that way. But Manager Shu, he wasn't as patient. He saw us circling each other and grew restless. That's why, one evening, he grabbed me and said, George, it's my sister's birthday tonight. Do me a favor, join us. I tried to refuse. No gift, no plan. But Shu shoved a wrapped present into my hands, practically dragged me into his car, and before I knew it, we were standing outside the private room. That's when my phone rang. An unknown number. I picked up. Chaos filled my ears. Car horns, shouting, a rush of noise. And then, through it all, Willow's voice. Weak, strained. George, I've been in an accident. Can you come get me? I froze. The door to the private room swung open, and I saw Anna inside, eyes lighting up the second she saw me. She stood, smiling, hurrying toward me, but in my ear, Willow's voice broke again. George, please, I'm hurt. Can you come? I swallowed hard. Out of some old kindness, I didn't hang up, but my voice was low, firm. I'll call an ambulance for you. Oh, give me your boyfriend's number. I'll call him. On the other end, silence. Heavy. Endless. Anna reached me then, still smiling, breathless with happiness. "George, you came. On my birthday. I'm so glad." And just like that, the call ended. A dead tone. I sent her a message anyway, repeated my words, just in case. But the night passed. Anna's birthday ended. No reply ever came. I thought Willow had grown up, that she knew better than to gamble with her life. Until I opened my front door and found her there, blooded, broken, leaning against the hallway wall. She looked up at me with everything she had left, forcing a smile. "Hi, George." She raised a weak hand, pointed to the box beside her. Crawfish. Clean. Sealed, from that restaurant we had been to countless times. "I brought your favorite." My chest tightened. My voice was flat, almost a whisper. "You're wrong, Willow." I crouched down, met her fading eyes. "You mix it up. The one who loves crawfish was never me." And I watched as the truth dawned on her face. Blankness. Silence. And then the memory of who really loved them, finally hitting her. Crustaceans never sat well with me. I didn't crave them, didn't even have the appetite. But Willow, she loved them. So I peeled crawfish for her, again and again, while she sat across from me, grinning with that playful spark in her eyes. "George, what would I ever do without you?" she teased, shrimp juice on her fingers, laughter in her voice. Then she declared it, like a promise, like a vow. "That's it. From now on, you have to peel shrimp for me for the rest of your life." I just sat there, stunned. She caught my expression, smiled wider, and asked, "Aren't crawfish delicious?" Back then, I barely ate any myself. Couldn't even taste much. But watching her smile across the table, I nodded without thinking. That summer, she fell in love with crawfish, and every few days, she begged me to take her out for more. "Don't you ever get tired of this?" I asked once. Willow only wrapped her arms around mine and said softly, "I'll never get tired of eating it with you." So I made it a ritual. When she was sad, I bought crawfish. When she was happy, I bought crawfish. Late at night, when craving struck, I was there again, peeling one after another for her. But time moved forward. Tastes changed. Willow grew tired of crawfish. She forgot how much she once loved it, how much she once loved me peeling them for her. Only I held on, stubborn, clinging to a memory that had long expired, carrying crawfish clumsily, showing up at her door again and again, thinking maybe, just maybe, the taste would bring her back. Now, as she curled up in front of me, bloody, trembling, her voice breaking, I realized she finally understood. After we broke up, I'd once sat in a sweltering car under 36 degrees of heat. An hour there, half an hour more in a noisy barbecue joint. 14 pounds of crawfish in my arms, walking nearly a kilometer just to stand under her building. Not because I craved it, but because I wanted to see her. When she had asked me once if I'd ever loved her, maybe now she had her answer. She grabbed her hair, let out a scream that tore through the air. "I'm sorry," she cried, voice trembling. "I didn't know. I forgot. I thought you loved crawfish. You always bought it for me. How could I be so stupid? I'm sorry, George. I always thought you didn't care." Her tears blurred into sweat, her face twisted in regret. "I just wanted to know if I had a place in your heart. That's why I lied about the boyfriend, just to see if you'd get angry, if you'd ask even one question. Just one would have been enough. But instead, she found me at her door, silent and stubborn, holding 14 pounds of crawfish." Willow closed her eyes, her voice trembling so hard she could barely speak. "I'll take you to the hospital," I said finally, because no matter how much we dug through the past, none of it mattered anymore. Her wounds needed tending. But when I reached out, she clung to my arm desperately, her voice breaking into sobs. "Please, George, don't drive me away. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Can you forgive me? I shouldn't have lied, shouldn't have humiliated you. I wasn't secure. I just wanted to know if you really loved me." Her cries shook her body, her voice shrinking from frantic screams to hollow sobs. She was falling apart in my arms. And yet, that word, forgive, stuck on my lips. I couldn't say it. I held her up, let the silence stretch until she calmed. Finally, I lowered my head and whispered, "Forget it. The crawfish from that barbecue place, it's lost its flavor." Just like us. If we forced it now, all that would remain was bitterness. Willow's tears kept falling, one by one, her lips trembling without words. When the ambulance came, she refused my help. She climbed in alone, and I stood there in the night, silent, watching her leave. Later, on my birthday, a delivery arrived. A box of crawfish. Peeled this time. Just the meat. Nearly 2 pounds. I knew what it meant. I knew how many pounds she must have peeled, how long it must have taken, and I knew exactly who had sent it. But the truth never changed. I never liked crawfish. So in the end, its destination was only the trash can.